Hey y'all, Mythic Rare here, and thank you to all my A1 Day 1 subscribers. I can't believe that there are 184 of you, and the recording is happening on Saturday afternoon. Yeah, today is... Oh, what is today? Today is the 9th. Yeah, we're doing this in the 11th hour, and basically, if this isn't able to happen, we aren't seeing a video. But if you are seeing this, then yay, I finally made it happen. To make a long story short, audio issues. So yeah. Anyways, this kit is from Munimade, and we have a premium toolkit that we had ordered because I just wanted to get the full experience. So it came in this cute little organza bag, and then, well, rather big bag, I should say. It came with a cover minder, a cute little star to match all of Winston's star friends, because this is Winston's prize after all. A grape jelly Munimade tray, complete with a stopper and a lid. Washi tape. Wax, and I am digging this wax, by the way. Like, this has been really, really good wax. I've only had to change it once. And you see I've completed, like, a row, and maybe, like, we can just call that a square because I'm about to fill that in a second. Murder, death, stabby tweezers. Please keep the sheath on these because these have actually drawn blood from me already. A fuzzy placer. That is a single placer. And also, that is why I took the single placer out of this pen, so then I could go, like, double-ended multi-placers with the 4 and the 7. The squishy did not come with the toolkit. Just as a disclaimer, that's something that I snagged from one of my other kits. So, yeah, like, this has been one of those weeks where I have been trying to film all week, and it's like either I say something and it didn't turn out right, or like technical difficulties. And Alex had a super rough day today where he tried to remote deposit a check because somebody did it bad on payroll and shorted him on his check. And yeah, so they were trying to reimburse him for that, and where they perforated the check, it cut off the numbers for, like, his employer's, like, checking account and stuff, and it was just, yeah, it's a whole thing. And then just, like, after that, for him, nothing today was going right. So, yeah, I am, like, if I sound a little bit out of breath and whatever, it's because, I just did grocery shopping and forgot items, and then had to stop into Target on the way home because it wasn't, like, the most out-of-the-way place, and pick up what I was missing, and then get lunch. And yeah, it's been a day. And then on top of it all, the weather. Like, I am so glad that the sun is out today. Because we are filming in the afternoon, we are working with natural light, so this is why my setup looks, like, almost completely different. And yeah, like, I feel like I have literally gone on Homer's Odyssey in order to get this Wip and Chat created. So how have y'all been doing? Like, did any of y'all get anything from the storms. If you are, like, please hunker down, stay safe, leave the chasing to the professionals or the wannabe professionals. Unless, of course, that's you. I hope you see a tornado. Or if you were in the Rockies or up in the mountains and you were hoping for snow one last time before spring goes sprung, then, I hope you got some. We were forecasted to actually have gorilla hail the other day, but thankfully we got a whole lot of nothing. I do not like when they forecast for gorilla hail. Reed Timmer is, like kind of a household name when it comes to weather, I'm sure. He is based out of the Oklahoma City area, as you can imagine. And for a while, he was on the do not rent list for rental cars because he would, like, core punch through supercells and things, and he would get all the hail, and, like, they would be just completely pot-marked, and yeah. So, if you're a weather weenie like me, or you're kind of just looking for anything to watch because you've exhausted your list, check out the Storm Chasers documentary. You don't have to necessarily pay anything for it because that is actually available through YouTube. Like, all the episodes, you can just search it up and you can go watch. But yeah, we just got, like, a few, like, little rumbles of thunder and then nice, gentle, soaking rain for, like, the last couple of days. The air is, like, as clean as it's ever been, and I feel like, for once, I can step outside and, like, not die. I was planning on filming earlier in the week and then getting this done, but, yeah. Allergies did not cooperate with me. By the way, if you do not want to hear about any disgusting medical talk, you're just tired of it from me, you want to hear about something else, I will include timestamps in the description for you to skip along to one of my other rants or rambles or whatever. But the reason why I couldn't get filming done earlier this week is because the pollen has gone nuclear. Like, we're into sunnier, longer days, and, after all of the rain and snow and stuff in the winter, things come back to life. And greenery is starting to show up in the yard. Pollen levels basically had an exponential rise starting back around Valentine's Day, and it was like my allergy meds could not keep up. They, like, no shot. Like, I would have, like, no chance at all at getting allergy shots because I would wake up, my eyes were, like, instantly watering and stuff, and then it was like I could go do a nasal rinse and, like, completely clean out all my sinuses with warm saline water. I could then take my Flonase and my Astropro, and then I could take my Zyrtec, and after that, it was like I had dug myself out of the allergy reaction pit, and I would be fine, like, the whole entire day. But I've gone and done allergy shots before where, like, I would have a flare-up in the morning, be good later in the day. think I was good, get my shot, and then have a reaction. So I'm just like, well, okay, like my eyes did this, so I know I can't get the shot. And like I was up to like 3 Zyrtec a day. I was washing my clothes on the sanitize and drying on the sanitize setting once per week. So that's basically as hot as your washer and dryer can go. And then I already have an allergy protector on my mattress. Surprisingly, I didn't have allergy protectors on my pillows, so I went and I put like the allergy covers on my pillows before I put the pillowcases right back on. You know, I'm making more of a habit of like putting my hair up in a bonnet when I go to bed, showering at night on a more consistent basis. It's like, it is like, I went from almost non-existent self-care to like almost a high maintenance level of, well, I guess I shouldn't say high maintenance because I'm not like getting my nails did every 2 weeks or getting like waxed every 2 weeks or whatever. But I went from like non-existent self-care to all of a sudden, dang, having self-care. So yeah, it's been like that shift in schedule, and now like the time is changing to where everybody gets to spring forward, but now I get to fall back because I will be going back to my 1:30 to 10 o'clock shift. I know it is horrible in like some respects because I will not be able to see my family as much, but then a lot of the time on those late night shifts, calls may be few and far between, and it's just, you know, everybody else has been at the company way longer than I have, and it's just a case of low person on the totem pole. But hey, you know, like, I've read full-on, like, comic books and stuff on, like, the end of my shift because it's, like, there's hardly any calls coming in, or there might be a call every 5 minutes or so, and it's probably not right now because, you know, we're spring break, and I'm in travel, so that busy is, like, hand in hand. But once we get past the month of March and then like the first 2 weeks of April, like, it's gonna slow down again and it's gonna be nice. But the main kicker though this week has been allergies, because Sunday, like last Sunday, I fell asleep reading a book and I tried to go bed, and I felt like there was mucus stuck in the back of my throat and it would not clear. So I turn on my humidifier, I fill my Stanley cup up with water, drink it, fill it up again, drink it again. So I just have like 40 ounces of water, and then like proceeded to go to the bathroom every hour on the after, pretty much after that. So like Sunday going into Monday, that was a rough night. Monday, I am dragging and I can barely finish my shift. I'm thinking, you know, low energy is because I had poopy quality night's sleep, and I can feel like my ears have this full feeling, and I'm just like, oh no. say it ain't so. Tuesday, I am waking up with a headache. Or no, Monday I am waking up with a headache. And I take 2 Advil. I rinse out my nose. I do all my medications. I'm able to dig myself out of that hole as always, but like I'm starting to feel my face get tight and I am just like, oh boy, like this ain't good. Towards the end of my shift, I was starting to get headaches. So then I was like, all right, it's like 5 p.m. I'm out in an hour, 45 minutes. I'll just take 2 Advil and I'll just soldier through. Tuesday comes along and I wake up with a headache. I start the day off with 2 Advil and then do my allergy routine. Towards the end of my shift, like my face is feeling like I'm doing the chubby bunny with the marshmallows in my mouth, and I have fluid backing up into my ears. Like I'm starting to hear things wrong from my passengers through the headset, and I am just like, okay, like this, I am not having this for Wednesday. So I call in a personal day because I didn't want to, like, you know, get into attendance stuff like when we're still in quarter 1, you know? I didn't want to start out the year like that, so I just like do a personal day, and then I already had the following day off, so I was just like, okay, I have a doctor's appointment like for allergies coming up on the 7th. Like I just need to make it another 36 hours at this point, and like they'll get me patched up and they'll get me going. I went to the big Oklahoma asthma and allergy clinic, like downtown, over by the OU School of Medicine, and I was able to find my way okay. Their office is a little bit, like, confusing for the layout when you first go in there. But everybody was, like, super friendly, and, yeah, they are deciding to, change all of my medications. Well, I shouldn't say all. Some of them are staying the same, but they're definitely flipping the script on my medications because maybe the advice that was given to me by the Oklahoma Asthma and Allergy Clinic, the one that Amy Darter was running that went bankrupt, which, yeah, by the way, the last I heard about that was June, July-ish of 2023. I think if you look through the K4 or our other local news, KOCO, if you look through their archives, you'll be able to find when that story broke. But yeah, when that one, I was with that one previous, they went bankrupt. While everything was happening, that's when I was starting to have issues with my allergy injections over there. So they're thinking, like, Oklahoma Asthma and Allergy Clinic is thinking, maybe that wasn't the most sound advice, and they were switching me back to Xyzal because that's the allergy med that I had been on in Phoenix for all those years, never experienced any problems with it. So I'm going back to that. They're wanting to see if maybe I have, like, Flonase has stopped working for me. So now I am on Nasonex. And then I'm still sticking with Astropro. In addition to that, in order to kick the allergic reaction that my body is currently experiencing due to the elevated pollen and the particulates from the Amarillo wildfire, they're having me take amoxicillin because I keep on having fluid back up into my ears. We want to prevent an ear infection. Prednisone, so that, you know, mainly to calm down the allergic reaction. And yeah, it was mainly just those two. My EpiPen was also out of date, so I did just get a replacement on that as well. So that was like, and my closest pharmacy is in a Target. So that was like a Target run. $160 some odd dollars later. I mean, I did have like some bathroom essentials and things that I had to pick up there. So it wasn't just like straight medication, but the bulk of that was medication. But it is working. It is definitely money well spent because I went to more during like the busiest time of the week to the busiest intersection of the week. And like I basically went to the busiest place and more right now, which was I-35 and like I-35 right where there's the Sam's and the Walmart right across from each other. Like anybody who's ever spent any amount of time in the greater Oklahoma City area is gonna know, yep, like busy as it all gets. Oh no, I lied. I didn't quite finish that square yet. And like all of these little stars that are just like in here and the particle effects for these bigger stars, I have been putting 5200 in the center of them, like just to give them a little something extra. I don't know. I think it just kind of sort of adds a little something. Oh, and we've got one right there. The 5200 that you're seeing me put onto the canvas is some that I've gotten long ago. These are from DP with Sparklers. So, yeah. Aside from me having allergy problems, as always, the big news this week is that Alex got his truck back. I can't remember if I've like told the story on here or if I haven't. So I will just start you all back at the very beginning. There are 3 brothers. Chris is the oldest. He's always been very frugal, and he can sometimes pinch a penny until it screams, but he has been very good with money. He's always, like, he's never necessarily struggled for a vehicle. He's always had one. It is what it is. And then there's Ben, who is the middle sibling, and Alex, who is the youngest. Ben decides that that school is not for him, and he decides to go into the military. At the time, Alex's dad had purchased a blue Ford Ranger, and Alex was like 15 and a half, 16 and a half. He's learning how to drive, and he is learning on that truck and the Focus. And then, of course, after Ben passes his tests and everything and gets told, hey, buddy, you're shipping off to Maryland, he needed a vehicle, and he gave Alex and his dad $500, and then, like, took the truck. With permission, of course, but, you know, he took the truck with him to Maryland. And Alex had felt some sort of way about it because he was supposed to get that truck. And because, like, they just did a whole bunch of work on it, too. So, after some time passes, his dad comes across another Ford Ranger. This one is green. And now Alex has a truck again. So as time goes on, he goes and does Epic because, like, issues with school that I'm not going to get into. And he's playing video games. He meets me. I come over here. He finishes school. He gets a job. And when he was at his previous employer, he had saved up a decent amount of money. And the truck also needed a decent amount of work. Like, there was shocks, I think, that had to get redone. He had to have his brakes redone, and he had to have his stereo redone because there was, like, a pothole that you could hit in our side street, and if he hit that sucker, his stereo in his truck would just, like, go, like, silent. It was like nothing. Like, just hit a bump and then nothing. Which, he has a 30-minute commute, and that is just, like, really sucky. So, they order the parts for the brakes. Him and his dad complete the brakes. That job is done. They go to Best Buy. Alex was eyeing like a expensive stereo. We tried to talk him off of a ledge and of a $400 stereo, and we got one for a couple $100. It's Kenwood and it sounds great. About a week after he put in the stereo, you know, I'm like super busy at work. It's Christmas time at this point, and I'm like not wanting to do anything about dinner because I just did a lot of final payments. It's as busy as it all gets for my job, because everybody's trying to finish up their travel contracts and all that before they fly the coop. So we're just like, okay, yeah, like, let's go get pizza. You know, it's fine, whatever. I hop in Alex's truck and we are cruising along. We're 2 blocks away from home, and I'm noticing his truck is starting to feel really weird because we're going down a decently sized hill and his truck isn't even hitting 40. So I'm just like thinking to myself, okay, like, we should be going faster. We should be doing at least 45, if not 50 down this hill. Why are we? And then, like, we should be doing 45 at the crest. Like, what is up with this? And Alex is just giving it the gas, and he's like, oh no. We make it up the crest of the hill, and we're just past a church and right in front of some random person's house. And it's in the middle of the road. It's evening time, and it's already dark. And the truck just comes to a stop in the middle of the road. At least the roads where we live at, they're not, like, busy. So it's not like we're causing a whole bunch of commotion, but still, we're in the middle of the road. And Alex turns the truck off. He turns it back on again and gives it some gas, and it revs, but it's not wanting to move. So we know, like, it's not a battery issue. It's not an engine issue. It's like nothing to do with the alternator, but it is most certainly everything to do with the transmission. And we're thinking it. We just, like, we hope it's everything but that, but, you know, initial thoughts. Because if it would have been something like the fuel pump or whatever, it wouldn't have even turned over. So we see a man come out of the house, and he was a pretty nice guy. He was asking us all kinds of fact-finding questions. Turns out he's a mechanic, and he was just kind of trying to figure out, like what's up with the truck. And he's like, yeah, sounds like a transmission thing for sure. Oh, I'm not done with this one yet. I don't know. We call home and we ask Alex's dad if he can come get us. He comes in the Explorer, and I've got, like, these guys tell me to get out of the passenger seat and hop in the driver's seat of Alex's truck and take it out of park, put it in drive. I do that, and then they push the truck into the, like, off into the side of the road. They're just, like, having me steer and everything. And we get that lined up so at least we can have the truck pulled off later. And in the Explorer, we go pick up our pizza and stuff, we come home. And this was, like, on a Saturday night. Alex and his dad go bright and early Sunday, and they wind up pulling the truck back home. And while Alex was at his previous job, he starts stacking up money so now he can get a transmission for the truck. After a few months goes by, like, there was a super bad winter storm. His previous employer had him in unsafe working conditions. Without going into too much, like, gruesome detail, they wouldn't let him in when he had frostbite. So or beginning stages of frostbite. And so he quit. We didn't argue. It is what it is. Because if I would have been in that same situation, I would have quit too. So, you know, as summer and, like, the year goes on, we're just, like, we're making it work with finances. Things are tight, but we can manage. And he gets on with his current construction type job that he has now. And that would have been, like, back in September of last year. He, like, dirty hands, clean, good money. He has been stacking up a decent amount of money, and come Black Friday-ish time, like holiday season, he has enough to go get his truck or go get his transmission for his truck. His dad keeps an eye out on Facebook Marketplace. They find a guy in Texas, Dallas, who has matching transmission for his truck. So then Alex's dad decided to like take a day trip down to Dallas, money in hand, and go get the transmission. When he gets there and they're, like, taking a closer inspection of it, it turns out it was for the wrong model year Ford Ranger, and the transmission that they had was not going to be compatible with his truck. So Alex had hit the roof. Like, he was pretty upset about that. The guy who we were doing business with said, "I am so sorry. I did not realize. I will keep my eyes peeled, and I will be on the lookout for your guys' transmission. I will waive the core charge. I will ship it to you." Like he is just trying to, you know, do right by us, and so that we wouldn't, like, have to go all the way back to Dallas again, because Google Maps is a lie when it says that it's 3.5 hours, because that construction on the I-35 never stops, and it actually adds about 3.5 hours to that trip. So it was a bust, but, you know, we We put our faith in this guy that he would find a replacement transmission. About 2 weeks later, we figure out that there is another transmission coming, and it is compatible with Alex's truck this time. They packaged it all up, put shrink wrap around the package, and they shipped it to us. It was there right next to our front deck, days before Christmas, in green shrink wrap. And I'm coming in from like picking up some groceries and stuff, and I'm just like, wow, they should have just like put a red bow on it, you know. Merry Christmas, you have a new transmission. So we've just been kind of like biding our time with the weather and waiting for those longer, sunnier days. And I don't know if this like kind of helped trigger it or whatever, but I've been kind of busy with the chores lately and making sure that everything is up to snuff in the kitchen, and that so that Alex's dad could just like focus on the truck. And that's basically all that he's been doing for these last like 2.5 weeks. Like, spare time after work, on the weekends, he has been working on Alex's truck. And they finally have the new transmission installed. I mean, it was a long time coming. It was about 1 year and 3 months. But eventually we did it. Actually 1 year and 2 months, but still though. Like, we did it. He has his truck back. And the day after the new transmission was in, Alex and I just like look at each other, and we're just like, we're gonna make the truck finish its mission. And even better yet, it was a T-Mobile Tuesday. So we got our crazy bag combo, we got our pizzas, and we went to Little Caesars. It did the trip just fine. Took the same exact route that it broke down on. And of course, like, Alex and I are just exchanging looks as we like drive past the exact spot that we broke down. And, you know, but thankfully, like, that all went fine. And we got our pizza. We enjoyed. It was great. The only little qualm that we have about his truck right now is his brakes feel kind of off kilter. And as soon as we dry out from all of the rain, Alex's dad is gonna bleed the brakes. Because really, like, right before the whole thing where we got stuck on the side of the road, like, we just redid all of his brakes. So we know that they're structurally sound, but we're thinking, like, what if the brake fluid is nasty and stuff from just having sat or whatever. So that's like next on the to-do list. But everything with his truck is finally like taken care of. And speaking of trucks, like, we're in the process of figuring out, like, what vehicles are we going to keep, what vehicles are we going to get rid of. Obviously, we are going to keep the Sentra because it is mine. It is reliable. I have to have something to go get groceries and and such, and like go do my appointments with. So my car stays. That's obvious. We have 2 cars that are black tagged that were, one of them's not even like black tagged, it's just like generating patina out in the field. That is going to find a home. The one that is black tagged is the Saab. Because at one point before Alex could even get the green truck, there was a Saab. He was hoping to fix it up, but every Saab is basically a sob story. They were cars that had like commercials back in the early 2000s. I remember these cars. And they're supposed to be like designed with the engineering of a aircraft, but these were not good cars. Alex has told me myriad a horror story, and so is his dad, of things that have gone wrong with the Saab, and it is just, yeah, we hands down are ready to see it go. So that's gonna go. So we are gonna get rid of some vehicles because we've already gotten Ben's, arguably Alex's, we've gotten the blue Explorer back. Ben got a new truck while he was in Maryland before he found out that he was going to get stationed on a ship out of Japan. So that is, his truck is going to be coming to us. And it's going to be one of those, like, take it to the grocery store once a week kind of things. Like, let's run it enough to where things do not fall apart on it, and that it stays a decent running vehicle for when Ben comes back in a few years. So yeah, there's like things that we're going through getting rid of in terms of vehicles. Like right now we're trying a different e-collar with the electric fence outside so Riley can run. Like all kinds of changes, y'all. All kinds. But also with this season of change, it has also been a season of rewatching and renewed interest in things. So I have started rewatching Sailor Moon Crystal with the anticipation of the rumors of Sailor Cosmos coming to Netflix sometime this year, possibly in the summer. So it's just random stuff that I've looked up online and things. Do not know how true it is or if it is just like purely speculation. But fingers crossed, we will have that available to be streamed on Netflix sooner rather than later. And then the next thing with Demon Slayer came out, like the Hashira training. I am wanting to see that on the silver screen, but Alex is saying he would rather see it on the screen at home. Either way, that is going to get watched. I probably need to rewatch at least Swordsmith Village, so that I'll have an easier time picking up where I left off, because I had finished all of Swordsmith Village when it very first came out, and that was like summer of last year, so I may want to revisit that. I am in the middle of revisiting Blue Exorcist because they just had a new season release on Crunchyroll. So it's like having to rewatch that as well. And then sometime last year, Vox Machina from Amazon Prime came out with a season 2. So I'll need to rewatch season 1. And it's just, yeah, I am in a season of rewatching, but also I am exploring interests that I thought have like long since been extinguished. I am not a big book person by any means. I know like they tried their, like they meaning teachers and folks in school had tried their darndest to get me into reading. Like they tried to push the Harry Potter books on me and stuff. I didn't read them necessarily when they were getting big. I did at one point because, you know, like, it was kind of a challenge to, like, read a book about as big as the dictionary. Kind of, sort of. And it always took, I noticed a pattern with J.K. Rowling and her style. It always took her, like, 6 chapters of, like, just kind of boring plot setup and whatever before I actually got the hook that I needed to get, and then I'm like fully vested into the book. And then like the first 6 chapters of all of her books were like such a slog, but then like I could just, you know, as soon as I got past chapter 6, I was fine. But I think my Instagram is like just giving me kind of somewhat old post from the bookish box, because like sometime in 2022 I did see Melissa Blair's Broken Blade come up on my radar, but then I like never saw it again, so then it just like dropped off of my radar. And then just recently I've been seeing a whole bunch of stuff with it, like in the second half of 2023, because now like A Shadow Crown came out by Melissa Blair, and it's supposed to be the next book in her Halfling Saga series. So I had found a $15 copy of A Broken Blade off of eBay. Like the dust jacket is damaged. There's like some minor damage to the inside of the book and stuff. But I mean, overall, it's like, it's nothing that E6000 that is very well placed couldn't fix. And like the first thing that I didn't even do was like fix the book. I actually just like started reading it. And it is so good, y'all. Like, Lenore from Diamonds and Dew, aka Lee, is like, I get it. I completely understand what she says now. Like, sometimes you can tell within the first, like, page or two of reading a book if it's an author you're going to vibe with. Like, you'll just be a goner. And I am very much so a goner. I have basically read a chapter of this book a night. I'm like, I can't sit and read for very long periods of time because I do not get like a lot of big chunks of uninterrupted time. Not unless I like kick Riley out of her crate and then I like lock myself in the dog crate pretty much. Yeah, like, but I'm like so far into that book now already, and it is a good read. Do not pay $100 or whatever off of Mercari or Poshmark or whatever. Those prices are outrageous. Do not pay that for this book. Bide your time. Look on half price books. Look on eBay. But you can definitely pick up the Bookish Box editions for cheaper there. I got my copy for $15.15 plus shipping in case anybody was curious. And it was a eBay purchase. And then don't quote me if it's still up right now, but there's a near fine condition of A Broken Blade, the Red Blade edition, over on Half Price Books. I'm checking on it, just to see, like, in case I find any further damage in this book, like maybe I could ditch my current copy and then pick up one that isn't, as damaged, but I'm not I've got some big bills coming up, so I'm like not going to do that with my money right now. But hey, if anybody is looking for that book, like, there you go. But yeah, like, that being said, I think I've left my dog outside long enough. I'm pretty sure we've gone like an hour, if that. Mind you, it is like 60 degrees. It's warm. It's sunny, but she does get lonely. So I am gonna stick a pin in it right here. Let me know in the comments if you have any other good reading suggestions or any good anime that I should watch, because I am definitely looking for more content to consume as I am doing diamond paintings, because sometimes music or sometimes just regular YouTube doesn't do it for me. And yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.